Hurricane Irma makes her presence felt across the region. Our top story in the Barbados Today morning news for Wednesday, September 6. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Claire Williams. Hurricane Irma remains an extremely dangerous storm, and the National Hurricane Center says it is expected to turn towards the west-northwest and continue on this motion for the next couple days. On its current track, the center of the storm is expected to move over parts of the northern Leeward Islands early today and move near or over parts of the northern Virgin Islands today. It is also expected to pass just north of Puerto Rico later today into tonight. Residents of the islands in the storm's path began feeling the effects from yesterday. The islands of Dominica, Guadeloupe, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla and the Virgin Islands have been taking every precaution against the powerful hurricane, and residents in disaster-prone areas were forced to evacuate. In Antigua and Barbuda, officials there have already begun taking steps to ensure that the Twin Island nation is back on its feet as quickly as possible after the passage of Irma. Journalist Anika Kentish told Barbados Today last night that St. John's has already received offers of assistance even before the Category 5 storm hit.
The Prime Minister was on radio today and made it clear that Venezuela is on standby already to send up supplies as soon as the airport is reopened. So apparently there's a lot that's been going on behind the scenes, especially on a diplomatic level, to ensure that once the storm clears, that the necessary supplies are brought in, not just to Antigua but to Barbuda. For instance, now I understand that they were concerned about the water, potable water in Barbuda. The Coast Guard attempted today, well, at least within the last 24 hours, to take the water over, but the seas were so rough they had to turn back. So they're going to have to consider either getting it there another way or waiting until after the storm and going back when the seas are a bit more manageable. But the fact of the matter is, we knew it was coming, we know it's going to come, and so we've had time to start putting things in place for the aftermath.
Irma is also forecast to affect the Bahamas later this week. And with memories of last year's Hurricane Matthew still fresh, law enforcement and disaster management officials have been putting contingency measures in place ahead of the storm. We get more in this report from ZNS Network News.
With bare days until the effects of the now Category 5 Hurricane Irma is expected to be felt in the southern Bahamas, the country's law enforcement agencies and several utility operators say they have already implemented their storm protocols. At NEMA's Hurricane Preparedness Press Conference Monday, Acting Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson assured that police will be present to maintain order and all police stations will remain open. He cautioned would-be criminals.
We will be enforcing the laws. And I wish to say to persons, if you are caught looting or stealing, you will be prosecuted. Do not use the storm as an opportunity to break into and steal from people's property. The police will be up and about.
Head of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Telis Bethel, says the agency will be in charge of managing the 25 hurricane shelters in New Providence, and Defense Force vessels will return to assist with relief and recovery efforts throughout the country. He says the agency is well prepared to respond.
On standby to be deployed is the Defense Force's mobile base city, a 17-piece container unit designed to provide food, water, basic medical care, as well as technical repairs within local communities.
Electricity is a critical service during and after the passage of a hurricane, and Bahamas Power and Light representative Ian Pratt says the company is monitoring and has taken steps to prepare.
And here at home, while Barbados is not in the direct path of Hurricane Irma, the island has not escaped its wrath. Authorities were forced to close off Wharf Road temporarily yesterday afternoon as sea swells drenched the boardwalk in the city. Some operators also struggled to get their boats back to safety. And in St. David's Christchurch, 68-year-old Patsy Trotman lost the roof of her home yesterday morning. Her daughter Betty says no one was home at the time, but the family is in shock.
When I came, my mom was really distraught. She was crying. Nothing we said could get my mom to stop crying. Nobody wants to be in a condition like this in 2017. It's really hard on my mom because she's a pensioner. She's also a diabetic, so we have to be very careful with my mom. my mom also, we also have a nephew who's autistic who lives with my mom, so we are in desperate need.
Meanwhile, islands in the Lesser Antilles are also monitoring the progress of Tropical Storm Jose, which is following on the heels of Irma. The National Hurricane Center says Jose is expected to strengthen into a hurricane today. It is moving towards the west near 12 miles per hour and is expected to increase in speed over the next couple of days, moving towards the west or northwest.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for what here, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Ma'am, are you still there? Oh, she put down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. In other news this morning, the surfing community is paying tribute to one of their young members. 16-year-old Xander Venezia died yesterday after surfing at a shallow wave in Cattle Wash, St. Joseph. He sustained a broken neck when he slammed into a reef. He was rushed to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. And the six-time national surfing champion Mark Holder told Barbados Today the surfing fraternity is shocked at the death.
That wave only breaks when it's like you have like hurricane swells and it's like comes in a different direction. So that swell breaks like maybe once in a blue moon. So when it's breaking, guys go there because it's a beautiful wave, you know, but it's pretty dangerous. But for my 49 years living in Barbados, I never surfed that break yet. I always surf right here, Soup Bowls. Right. This is my favorite break. And I surf Pearl, I surf around the island, Brandon's, surf the West Coast, you know. But I never surfed that break. That break is pretty dangerous. But you know what, guys, there was a lot of international guys here. The media is here. Everybody's out there looking to get that shot, maybe a cover shot for the magazine. You know, I mean, everybody wants to get in the video. And everybody was there this morning just trying to get that perfect wave.
As concerns grow over rising crime on the island, one local pastor and social worker says some of the most dangerous gang members are assisting the needy with some of their basic needs. Roger Husbands of Empowerment International Ministries tells Barbados Today this may be one reason why police are having a hard time containing criminal activity.
Even some gangs take care of people in districts as well. So don't let me shine the eye on that, because the issue is that there's some people who are paid, given money by gang men, pay the bills, food bills, those kind of things to keep them out closed, and that's why when sometimes police come out to arrest a person or something happens, people are vexed and want to fight because they're being taken care of and feel protected by gangs. So I'm not saying that's all over Barbados, but we are seeing it in a small pocket. So this thing is, for me, I will say again, I don't know how much people will believe, but I'll say again that we are having a big problem with gangs in this small nation of ours.
And further afield, a top North Korean diplomat is warning that his country is ready to send what he calls more gift packages to the United States. The caution comes as world leaders struggle for a response to Pyongyang's latest nuclear weapons test. Ambassador to the United Nations in Geneva has confirmed that the country had successfully conducted its sixth and largest nuclear bomb test on Sunday. We get more in this report from Reuters.
Days after North Korea's sixth nuclear test, the South is eyeing a boost for its own heavy arsenal. To up the ante, Seoul needs to rewrite a treaty with the U.S. dating back to the 1970s that caps the size of a payload in the tip of a missile, an idea that leader Moon Jae-in and Donald Trump both support. But the South's rockets would still be limited in ways the North's are not. The treaty also puts a 500-mile cap on how far Seoul's missiles can fly, and any move to increase that could go down badly with countries that could potentially end up in the firing line.
Under the current agreement, South Korea can hit all of North Korea with ballistic missiles, and if they were to change the flight cap, it could spark concern from neighboring countries like China or Japan.
Meanwhile, another unwelcome surprise from the north could be on the way soon. Media reports on Tuesday say Pyongyang has been seen transporting a rocket towards its west coast, an operation that apparently began on Monday, moving only at night to avoid detection. According to the report, the weapon appears to be an intercontinental ballistic missile. Officials can't confirm those claims, but analysts and South Korean lawmakers say if a new test is coming, it will likely happen on Saturday, North Korea's founding holiday, the same day it tested its fifth nuclear device last year.
That takes us to the end of the news this morning. Remember, for more, you can log on to our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are on Izumi Media in bus terminals and also on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Mary Claire Williams. Have a good morning.